So my point is what they were saying, and they said, do not consent to the manipulation. Use your power, and when you unite, the power is yours. In unity, all will stop. No individual battle. So they're suggesting, do not go by yourself and try to go after the company, after this person and that person, because you don't hold enough power in order to overturn everything. Very good examples is Southwest Airlines. Look what happened there. Look what these people did. So I'm so proud to all the workers, all the pilots, because in power, when you unite, you hold the power, is nothing they can do, because they know that they're doing everything against humanity. They know that you have no right to take the right of somebody against their will. So they said, if you basically unite and start helping each other and start thinking of how much money you're going to make, basically, if you're a doctor or if you're a lawyer, you basically probably going to risk everything to start really helping people. That is what is going to take. And I'm saying that because of my own experience. I've risked everything in order to get to this point. But the process of the journey of your quantum manifestation knowledge is going to get you to situations and locations, because you're going to project everything hologram within the hologram to help you through the process, no matter what they're doing. So they said, no individual battle. You can be defeated that way, but in unity you win. Stand up, and all of you of all steps of life support and help each other. And I didn't want to say that, but I'm going to say it. And they said within 3 years, all is done. Because I don't want to connect everything with time. And I know some people go ahead and say, oh my God, I cannot believe it. It's going to be that much time. Unfortunately, we've been hijacked as a consciousness from very long time, from above planets. It's multidimensional, interstellar battle here. Not only matter, but ether. Everything is like, you guys have no idea, because I'm going to talk about this today too, because what the council was telling me was the fact that they feel also, you got to understand, when we are sending, we not only ascending from our reality, as you know, the whole consciousness is ascending. So through the ripple effect of the timelines and the parallel realities of us, extraterrestrials, high consciousness, councils, angels, anything you can think of that is being in creation, we had a lesson to learn. And everybody is acknowledging right now that perhaps earlier intervention should have been done, and not be so passive, because under the law, you got to allow consciousness for itself to learn. But when I was discussing, because I was back and forth constantly talking to them, I wanted to talk to the council. So I talked with the Council of Nine, and they were telling me from the galactic federations what they were discussing, and the fact that they do acknowledge that shouldn't be quicker the response, and the fact that you never ever, they said, should be allow consciousness to another consciousness to manipulate somebody without a consent, because we were basically hijacked, dumbed down, and manipulated through everything. So you cannot see through the veil of the manipulation. And this is against any type of laws of consciousness itself. We had a video when I was talking the law of consciousness, and the fact that you have no right ever to overtake another expression of consciousness without their consent. And what they did was hijacking your belief system by telling you that the mirror image is the real you. They were giving you the opposite physics, the opposite quantums, metaphysics, the knowledge, everything was in reverse. So you were looking at the reflection and not the fact that you're the one that projecting the reflection. And this way you gave them the power. They start manipulating you with everything and hijack your consciousness, dropped your frequency to certain modalities. So now you can overtake and bypass the shield There was also video in season 4 about that, was bypassing the shield that is a 4-step of chakras. And in these chakras, there were codes. Well, they overtook the codes. They basically, like a frequency, whatever frequency you had, they put through their actions and videos and everything else, and whatever they were teaching you through the schools and knowledge and everything, they basically shut down that sequences and they replaced it with their own, whatever they wanted, so they can break down the shield and start manipulating you with everything that is happening. So that is why we asking, I cannot believe that this person cannot see it. They cannot see it because they were basically hijacking, the whole structure was shut down. So now you're vibrating in their frequency and not the one that is connected original with consciousness itself. And of course, right now, everything is happening with a cyborg and everything else that is being given that will create certain nano through certain resonances and is going to build something else, and actually can build a life structure within your body that can replace you like a cyborg. And that is technology. Again, I'm for super technology, but it's for consciousness itself, because you can use this technology to overtake. And this is what's really happening here, what people don't realize. Okay, so the other thing I just want to say for everybody, that was the first thing, but I wanted to share with you the new message that came in. Let me share the screen because we need to talk about. Okay. So now let me tell you, let me explain about that. And the one that Trump, I was asking about Trump and the whole situation, because somebody was discussing about Nazareth, Sazera, and all this thing, all the money that were coming. The truth is that they keep telling me that it's going to be a completely brand new system, and system that is so secretive that even the people who think they know, they don't know. And what I was told, that you're going to be basically bombarded with a completely different information. So I was asking about Trump to know how things are going. And they say Trump, he has more to do. He will be and is in power. All is by design, because the strongest must survive. It is ideology concept. So let me explain with that, because I was talking in between. I'm just giving you the download, but was a lot more in between when I was asking. Basically, they were saying that from consciousness itself, there in all the extraterrestrials, there is in the ideology of the fact that the strongest of the fittest, the battle of the fittest, you know, the strongest one will survive. But what everybody is realizing, that when you allow a certain consciousness and you create a consciousness of reality, you have to oversee it in a way to the point that if you see that somebody is taking over illegally against all the rules, you should not wait for long to interfere, because you need to stop it in its tracks sometimes. Because of, they said to me, we never ever expected, and that message was based on also the Galactic Federations. They said when they were discussing, everybody that was there, they never ever expected this to be so dark, so grotesque, and against any form of life. And they agree that must be faster intervention, and the fact that never ever should be allowed to continue, and you should interfere soon as you see something is happening. So then I was suggesting to them that if anything like this is happening, not only that you should intervene right away, but the Galactic Federation should have people like ambassadors in different clusters, different planets, that they must be changed frequently. So none of these ambassadors be corrupt the way a lot of politicians became corrupt. And maybe you don't have to tell how many ambassadors you have, because if one of them gets corrupt, the other one will know. So they agree with that, because I said, well, there's a lot of stuff that's happening right now and you hear different stuff. So what is really happening? So they were suggesting that Trump never left the power, but looks like left the power. Because everything was hijacked and is completely illegal, and this is going to be proven. However, they were saying that don't think that he's the savior, not to put in any politician, no matter who that is, or a business person, that they are the savior. They're just a part of the whole structure. And if that person through the process doesn't complete something, something else will be created to complete it, because consciousness, as we discussed the quantum structure, always going to create another hologram to complete the mission. And they said all that concept, they said that concept that you have to allow the fetus to survive by itself and learn by itself, it's an ideology concept. Basically, they said that could be changed based also on their experience. You know, because I don't agree that you should allow somebody to suffer. Basically, you see somebody punching the other person, which is another reflection, and you just sit there and don't take an action because they got to learn. To what extent you allow that person to be punched? And this is what I was saying to them, you know, and they do agree with that. They acknowledge that, and they did say that they also understand it was also a lesson to them and will never be allowed to that extent ever again. So this is also ascension for the councils, ascension for galactic federations. Everybody's learning from this process, you know, because nobody ever expected it to be that bad. They were tried to be stopped. If you remember, a couple of years ago, I was discussing that they will stop, and they were asking them to stop. But in the collective, the negative side decided to continue because this is their livelihood. The whole day, that's all they know. And they said, but that ideology has to be a natural process and not interfered. However, will be put into motion a new system in the no-name system, and will save it all. I'm sorry, may not take, you may not understand exactly what they say, but I will write it down. This is direct download, so that's why I didn't, you know, switch anything. Basically, they were talking about the monetary system. And the monetary system, if you remember, they said it is no name because it's so secretive. So they said, so don't worry about the money. Don't worry how humanity is going to be saved through the monetary system. So just relax, rest and relax. This is being taken care of. And I go, a lot of people change their mind regarding Trump. And the Council of Nine said, you must have faith that all is by design, even if some of the concepts do not make sense now. But let us say that humans learn only through lessons and experience. Who would have believed that all this is true of what is happening right now? It needs to be a conscious understanding to connect the concept in order to have the power of positive actions, equal reactions. The perception cannot be through fear and anger, but through clear mind and deeper understanding. We agree that humans were dumbed down by international infiltration to every aspect of your societies. But because of that, the only way the human consciousness to grasp the ideas of the truth is to have an experience. So basically, they would say, this is the why in the beginning, when we were watching everything, how it was developing, we did not want it to interfere. Because it's time, when you're being punched, don't sit just there and agree and consent, but stand up and take power, which they're asking us to do now. Because no matter how much they're helping, we got to do it ourselves. You do not learn only through books, but through the physical experience for you to know what is right and wrong. Basically, like a question. You cannot only have theoretical theories for creation, because creation includes matter, antimatter, reaction, and reflection, you know, projection and mirror image, reaction and reflection. All that must take precise knowledge and understanding to construct and deconstruct realities. Now they're talking about the reason why you really need to learn so well, because then you're gonna know exactly, even through that experience, that this became so horrendous. Now everybody, when you allow consciousness to grow and create worlds, never to go to such an extent to the point that is no return. It's almost like it's a cancer and you have cancer, but you're not doing anything to stop the cancer. And when you do that, immediately, if you react immediately, most likely you will recover if you use the proper, nutrition and everything else that is done. So they say, how is it so difficult for some to just understand the concept that what is happening right now is deadly, of what the negative side is doing? So they question why it's so difficult for people to understand that. The illusion of money population, it's so great that logical concepts are out of the window, as you say. Basically, they also was saying, when I was asking, that we allow the money and the monetary system to take us over so much that logically you take in any concept which somebody gives you, the way, for example, Trudeau end up retaining the law firms. If you awaken as a lawyer, how can you just sit there and not really understand what's really happening, and you allow the fear to overtake you because of money? That's what they were saying. That's what they were saying, that they were saying is going to take absolutely everything, and you're going to be brought to your knees if you don't get up and do something about it. And they said, and a mind like that cannot reach greater potential. Basically, if you just sit back and do nothing and yet hiding around the bushes, basically you will not be able to reach higher realities and stuff like that, because you watch that person and humanity suffering when you had the power to stop it. When you unite, it must learn and grow through its own decisions and mistakes. And in the end, the mistakes were exactly what needed to happen, so you can reach your higher potential, and you will be and are exactly where you needed to be. Nothing is out of place, even for so-called mistakes. And are they really mistakes? Think, why would consciousness hurt itself? Why? Is it really self-inflicting pain, or simply a learning for itself for greater potential growth? Consciousness will never self-destruct, but if you see a cancer, well, that is another story. That is based on the cancer itself, the Council of Nine. And I said, a lot of people changing their mind regarding Trump. And they said to me, I'm going back again. And they said to me, basically, when they were talking about the cancer, they were saying that consciousness will recognize when is a cancer into itself and will do everything possible to fix it. So have faith, but we hold the faith. Use your quantum manifestation protocol, basically know your projection and reflection and how the quantum works and how you create through that process. When you unite and start really helping each other and not connecting through the monetary, how much money you're going to make, because we cannot put a price on human suffering. That's what they're saying. We can put a price on human suffering. Your donations, your money can happen exactly through the energy philanthropy, the way we're doing it. And you're always going to have something to put a food in the table. Because if you're a lawyer or if you're a doctor and we need you now to start helping everybody, if you have 10 people giving you $10, if they have nothing, even if they give you $10, $20, believe me, you're going to put a food in the table. That's what it's going to take. Don't look at the number, how much money you're going to make. Look at in the now. In the now, you're going to always be given to survive through the process to put a food in the table. And this is how I learned. I'm telling you guys, it works. 100% it works. Okay. So again, I'm asking about Trump. A lot of people changed their mind regarding Trump, and the C9 told me, the Council of Nine, you must have faith that is all by design, even if some of the concepts do not make sense now. But let us say that humans learn only through lessons and experience. Okay, so all that, got repeated, I guess. But see, this is what is really going on, guys. That's what they were really saying. That was the message. And the other download was for the fact that things will get escalated. They want us to unite. And anybody that has, guys, if you have gifts, if you are with knowledge, or if you have credentials to legally do something, please, I'm asking you, start uniting with different people like you, whatever your profession is, and start doing something in the name of humanity, because the situation here is life and death. There's not going to be a middle ground here. And a lot of people are going to find themselves in a very tough situations.